You know how sometimes a new product just explodes, like right out of the gate? Well, we're about to break down a story that's not just cool, it's a literal playbook. A playbook for turning a simple idea into a huge success. So yeah, let's dive in. Okay, get this. $300,000. That's the number that made us stop and go, wait, what? We're talking nearly 300 grand in revenue in just 45 days. And this wasn't some huge company with a crazy marketing budget, not at all. It was a small team, a simple app, and one absolutely brilliant strategy. So, the big question, right? How on earth did they pull that off? The answer? It's not what you think. It's not just, oh, they had a great product or they had clever ads. No, it was this incredible mix of smart tech and an even smarter community-first launch strategy. Let's really get into the nuts and bolts of what that looks like.
All right, so to really get why this launch was such a home run, you gotta understand the product itself. And it's so elegant. It all started with them identifying this universal pain point, something that pretty much every single business, creator, you name it, is struggling with right now.
I mean, just think about it for a second. If you're running a business or a community, how do you actually reach your people? Seriously, you're constantly fighting the social media algorithms, you're trying to get noticed in these overflowing email inboxes. The co-founder, True Griffin, he even said he had 17,000 unread emails. It's a total communication nightmare.
And this really lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the old way, the indirect way. You're basically at the mercy of platforms and spam filters, just hoping your message gets through. But then you have the send push method. And that's a direct, unblockable line to your audience, right where they live, on their phone's lock screen.
Okay, the real genius here is just how simple it is. Send Push is not another app you have to convince people to download. No way. It uses the wallet app that's already on every single iPhone and Android phone. You know, like when you get a boarding pass for a flight, it's exactly like that. But instead of flight info, it's a direct line for a business to send a notification straight to a customer's lock screen. No algorithm to fight, no spam filter to get past, just a direct hit.
So having a great idea is one thing, right? But actually building it? That's a whole other ballgame. And what's just incredible is how fast they brought this thing to life. The secret? They used AI. But not as some kind of gimmick. They used it as a core development tool. And that let them move at a speed that completely changes the game. They actually have a cool name for it, vibe coding. And what that really means is they're using AI tools to just blast through prototyping and building everything, the UI, the backend, the whole shebang. And it's not about replacing developers, not at all. It's about supercharging them. It lets them turn an idea into real, working code at a speed that, honestly, felt like science fiction just a couple of years ago. And this is where that speed becomes a genuine superpower. Because they can build so fast, they can react to what users are asking for almost instantly. Here's a perfect example. A local cheesesteak shop, right? They had a few different locations and needed to send different messages to each one. Well, the team built and shipped a location tagging feature just for them in 2 days. 2 days! That kind of responsiveness is an insane advantage. Okay, so a great product. Built super fast. That's a fantastic start. But that is not the whole story. Not even close. The real engine, the secret sauce behind that almost 300K in 45 days, was their strategy for launching it. It's a playbook they call the Oprah method. And that crazy development speed we just talked about, turns out it was absolutely crucial to making this whole thing work. And this quote from the co-founder Drew, it just sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. Give your best stuff away for free, build a community built on trust. The idea is, before you even think about asking for a sale, you give away incredible value. You build an audience that actually knows you, likes you, and trusts you. The whole product launch, that comes way, way later. The whole idea here is kind of backward, but it's so powerful. You don't start by trying to sell your software. Nope. You start by becoming the go-to source of information for the very people who will, one day, be your customers. You become the local expert, the trusted voice they turn to. And this is the exact playbook. Let's just walk through it. Step 1, you create a local community page on Facebook, something like Pottstown Local Scoop. Step 2, and this is super important, you don't sell anything. You just share helpful stuff, local news, events, whatever. Step 3, you grow that page until you have thousands of followers. Now, here's where the magic happens. Steps 4 and 5. You walk into a local business, not as a salesperson, but as the press.
You offer to feature them for free to your massive audience. Can you imagine? So after you've built all that goodwill with tons of local businesses, then and only then do you get to step 6. You pivot, and you show them your product as a way to help them even more.
And let's be clear, this was not a set it and forget it kind of thing. To build that level of trust, it took real commitment. Get this, the founder was making around 20 posts a day. 20! Every single day in his community groups. He was just actively serving his audience day in, day out, long before he ever asked for a single penny.
So what's the big takeaway here? What's the lesson from this incredible story? It's really not about AI or push notifications. It's about a formula that connects a real problem with a deep, genuine sense of community trust. And that's a formula you can apply to pretty much any new idea you have.
Look, it all boils down to these 4 things right here. First, find a real, painful problem. Second, give away tons of value, for free, to build an audience around that problem. Third, make sure that audience is built on real trust. And then, and only then, do you come in with a simple, focused solution that solves that original problem.
This whole story just proves you don't need some super complex product to have a massive launch. You need a real problem, a community you've built on trust, and a simple, elegant solution. So I'll leave you with this question. What simple, everyday frustration, what little thing that bugs you are you overlooking? Because that might just be the key to your own incredible launch.